Wire quad lock. There is dozens of different motorcycle handlebar mounts on the market, but the quad lock is an Australian product, which I'm a little bit biased. So what I ended up buying is the motorcycle handlebar mount, the iPhone 11 case. Now, if you're in the Android market, they sell the cases for your phones or any other phones. I bought the motorcycle USB charger, the quad lock locking mechanism. Now, the only reason I got this is because I have the 2020 RT Limited, the red one, and it replaces the blue one. It's purely a vanity thing. I also bought the knuckle adapter. Now, this one is probably the least cost of any of the items that I bought. Now, this gives you some maneuverability to adjust the phone to the position that you want when you eventually set it up. This is not an install video by any stretch. It is basically just to show you what my setup is of these items on my 2020 RT Limited. If you want to see install for any of these items, just go to YouTube. There is dozens of install videos. Look, if you have any amount of handyman skills, you can do this. The USB chargers is probably the only bit, it's a little bit fiddly because you have to get the wires down to the battery because it's a direct connect to the battery. I'll tell you why I bought this as a later purchase, because my phone was going flat using the standard USB on the RT Limited. Let's move over to the 2020 RT now, and I'll show you what my setup for all this gear is. You can see my final setup here. It actually doesn't look that bad. You can see this short connector here which goes up underneath here to the USB. It is just a short 6-inch connector that goes into the bottom of the phone here. I opted for the USB charger here, which the wire runs down here along the handlebars and underneath there, and it connects all the way down to the battery. I did use the USB charger here, but what I found is when I was using the sat-nav, or GPS as they call it in the USA, is that my phone was going flat. You can get these to colour match. Actually, I'll take that back. You can only get them in red, black and blue. While I've got you here, if you can see those bolts there that attach to the handlebars, if your bolts are rusty, go to your dealer and get these swapped over. It's a fault. Some of them have it, some of them don't. I don't know why, but I'm waiting on BRP to bring those into our local dealer. So anyway, just a side issue. If your bolts are rusty, go to your dealer, get them swapped over. This is the actual handlebar mount that goes around the tubular style handlebars. It just basically opens up. The screws go in here and you just clamp it down with the rubber spacers, and it clamps on quite strong, as I showed you on the on my bike, which is already set up. This actual knuckle adapter, as I showed you earlier, is quite flexible. You can see that it moves left to right, and you can turn it any which way you particularly want, and it gives you that advantage of being able to position the phone wherever it suits you for looking at the sat-nav or whatever it is you're going to do. So I would suggest, folks, if you're going to get this set up, get this knuckle. This is the quad lock case which comes with all the phones. You just nominate what case you need when you're ordering your kit, and it suits all phones, Android, iPhone, just about everything that you can get. This is the bit where my thumb is. You can see it has this configuration here which coincides with this, and it just locks on. Guys, that's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.